What up, what up, what up, what up, what up? Everybody, y'all already know who it is. Your boy, Mr. Indomitable, bringing you some more Destiny gameplay. So let's get into it. As you guys can tell, this is a PvE video. Yes, first time I've ever done one. And I was up early this morning, so I decided to run one little strike before I head out and get my daily stuff done. And then I didn't find out, but I got bored. And I was like, hey, it's a void burn. I know my messenger is void. Let's see what happens, right? I mean, hey, what's the worst that can happen? I see that it doesn't really do any damage, and then I just swap back to a normal primary gun. That's the worst that can happen. So I already cleared, one space in my, on my Titan, because this is who I main. So I'm sitting down, I'm looking for it right now, and I'm just like, man, this would be a really interesting idea. It is an interesting idea to see how well year 1 void weapons do in year 2. Now I got a couple tests in here for you guys where I'm going to be using my messenger, and then I'm going to be using my my Hawksaw. Now yes, they are two completely different type of pulse rifles, but hey, I'm using what most people would consider using. I don't do much PvE, so I'm just assuming a lot of people don't mind using the Hawksaw because it is such a good pulse rifle. But look at that, 2733, 2,733 damage per headshot. Look at that, 2121 from that distance. Now right here, I put a Mida on. Look at the difference in the damage. That was a body shot, and it only got 1,700. But for some reason, I couldn't hit a headshot to save my life right there. But the messenger is a year 1 weapon with a light level of 170. Look, still one bursting. A light level of 170, but yet it's doing the same amount of damage as a year 2 weapon at 335. Now I do die, needless to say, a few miscellaneous times messing around, and this is really interesting to me because I have to wait for void burn next, because not void, excuse me, I meant to say arc, because even though we do have the Xylo supercell, I still have my summoner adept from year 1, which is arc damage. And so I want to see if that still does as well as the messenger is performing right now. You guys see this thing still shoots like a laser. It's still two headshots people in the Crucible. I don't take it in the Crucible as much as I would like to sometimes, because I feel like I just want to give year 1 people, I want to give them a break. Like, that's unfair. It's unfair if I use something like this in a Crucible, just because they don't have a chance to get it. It is impossible for them to get it now, and I like to try to keep it as semi-even as possible. But the messenger, that thing still goes in. It still goes ham. Now I'm using, like I said, my defender I put weapons of light on, because at first, originally, I wasn't too sure how well it was gonna do, so I was gonna try to cope it. I was gonna try to combine it with weapons of light, just in case it wouldn't do well, that I would be able to add some damage onto it. But it doesn't need it at all. Like, it's still doing very, very well. And since we're talking about this, since we're talking about a year 1 weapon with elemental damage, in the middle of this strike, I had an idea, and let me know what you guys think in the comment section. But since I was about to say Treyarch, oh my goodness, too much Black Ops 3. Since Bungie took out primary elemental damage, I was thinking of a new way that they can put it back in the game and make it more useful. Now they took it out because they said that they didn't want players to be limited to a certain select few of weapons that they felt were the best, which no matter if they have elemental damage or not, people are still going to do that, such the last word, and so far so forth. Nothing else needs to be explained. I just got wrecked right there. But what if they made it to where Guardians no longer have kinetic armor? What if they made it to where, for example, like I said, I'm a Titan, I'm using my defender. Instead of having the kinetic armor, what if I had a void armor, and then I have less damage done against me from solar and arc because I'm a void, but void pairs up with me well and does more damage. Or if I was a hammer, it would turn my shield solar, to where arc and void does less, but yet solar does more. So far so forth with arc if I was a striker Titan. Now I think that would be really, really interesting, especially in in trials, for an example. The closest thing we have to a competitive game mode. Now if you go and you're like, okay, well, I see they're all using arc, let me just put on an arc gun, and then you look and you're like, oh, well, I don't have my arc gun isn't my best gun is a void, then it's gonna make you switch things up. And you guys see I'm still just one-shotting stuff with the messenger. This thing is still just as good in year 2 as it is in year 1. I kind of wish I had a chance to take this into Trials of Osiris to test this out with a light level cap, but when Trials does come year 3, I shall be testing that. But yeah, guys, me personally, I think that would be really interesting, because then everybody won't settle for a gun with, let's say it automatically drops with void and only void, such as the messenger. Let's say you're using an arc class. Now your best weapon isn't an arc, because year 1, for people who don't know, the messenger was the best pulse rifle in the game. 2-shot headshot from forever away. That thing was it was just so nasty. It was so nice. But yeah, then it takes this from a 2-shot headshot weapon to a 3-shot headshot, where you can get another pulse rifle that you may have that you're not as familiar with because you never use it because it's not your favorite, but it does the damage that you need it to do. And then that goes from a 3-shot headshot to a 2-shot headshot. I mean, the possibilities are endless with this, and it would make people pick what they use so much different. Like, you won't be limited to one weapon, because you'll need at least 3 primaries with all 3 elemental damages, and then you'll need at least 3 secondaries all with elemental damage. For me, I snipe, I shotgun, I use fusion rifles, and I use sidearms. So I would have to have 3 different shotguns, 3 different sniper rifles, 3 different fusion rifles, and 3 different sidearms. You can't even hold that much right now, so I would just have to transfer things as I got along. But that would be really, really interesting. I think that would make the game a little bit more strategic, because you'll be a little bit more careful into what you're using and what you're going up against. You can't just use anything. But that's my opinion. Once again, guys, you guys might not see it my way. You guys may think that it's a horrible idea, but that's why they're opinions. So here comes one of my tests. Watch how much damage this messenger does. You see that? 2009 high, 1,854 lows. That's pretty good damage for a weapon at 170, attack. Yeah. So let's put my Hawks on. Now I'm not hitting as many, but you see there goes a hit, there goes a critical hit right there. That critical only hit for 103, and that critical, those criticals right there only hit for 1,834. Now I don't know if you guys noticed, but that means that my messenger was doing more damage to that than this Hawksaw was. So look, still my messenger is still doing 2,000 plus damage, whereas the Hawksaw is only doing 1,800. So this goes to show that year 1 weapons are still liable, guys. You can still use them in PvP and in PvE. So for all my year 1 users, you can finally pull those toys out of the vault and have fun. Look, my Hawksaw can't even reach that. This thing has no range, but it has a whole lot of stability. That's my PvP Hawksaw, of course, but still, I'm actually kind of glad that I figured this out, because now I can use something like the Thunderlord, or I can use a different exotic when it's a Void Burn instead of the Xylo. Now you guys see it's hitting for 802, and that's actually at a pretty good distance, a really good distance. Now this is the only test that the Hawksaw actually beat the messenger. It was doing low 900s, high 800s, whereas the messenger was doing like low 800s, which this is the only, or high 700s, low 800s. If I step a little bit closer, it gets up to 820, as you guys just saw right there. Yeah, see right there. But the damage fall off is what gets it with that weapon, and it's crazy. Like, there goes the different stats. Obviously, range, impact, huge difference. But still, it's a year 1 weapon with 170 attack. Like, that's for them to still be so close together. So it's amazing. Look at that blink. I've never seen him blink before. But yeah, guys, let me know what you guys think about my crazy / non-crazy idea for the characters in Destiny, because like I said, to me that seems like it'll be really dope. It seems like it'll be really good, and for some of you may disagree, but hey, that's what opinions are for. That's what the comment section is for. I hope this helps some of my year 1 players out. For all my year 1 players who still have year 1 weapons with primary weapons with elemental damage on them, such as Void and Solar, because those are the only 2 that are missing, because we have the Xylo for year 2. For all my year 1 players who still has all that stuff, whip them bad boys out, go into a strike or some kind of PvE related Activia. Oh my god, I sound like a retard. If I knew me, I would make fun of myself, like if I was somebody else. But yes, pull them bad boys out, take them into some strikes or something. Test this theory out for yourself, just to make sure that I'm not rambling on about nothing or something that's not true. I put some evidence in the video. I hope you guys liked it. I hope you guys learned something, and I hope you guys pulled them year 1 weapons out to show how long you've been in this game, and take them into some strikes and have fun, guys. I really had fun using the messenger, because I haven't used it in forever. But you already know what it do. You already know who it is. It's your boy, Mr. Indomitable. I'm out, man. Everybody have a fantastic day.
The weft and weave of space and time is intact. You have made whole the past again. The destruction of the restorative mind will ripple across the stars, and its deeds will be undone over and again. well done, Guardian.